I think it's still surprising whenever you look at a party which somewhat mimics conservative values in their general running and also in their kind of position on the national question, that they come out somewhat left in an economic standpoint. Even if it's very soft left, they obviously have right wing kind of positions on tax. They are very open about the fact that they want lower VAT. They want the lower corporation tax as well. They're very much a party who want to kind of follow that neoliberal, I suppose, model of like lowering taxes and giving a wee bit more economic freedom to a free market. But they do have some kind of left issues which affect their economic standpoint, which I think are usually more to do with ensuring they kind of keep a middle or a working class vote, maybe. But well, what are your thoughts on their kind of position on that,
Yeah,
James?
I find it really interesting. I find it interesting, but not surprising. They're very centre to centre left attitude when it came to the benefit system and that of OAPs,
Yeah,
which, most political parties tend to do look after their OAPs, mostly in right wing parties, because that's normally the sort of subsection of society that votes for them. But it was policies like retaining the over 65 free bus and train pass, and also keeping benefits in line with inflation. And I remember reading that and thinking, if I heard the Labour Party over in Great Britain or down south, or Fianna Fáil down south, introducing this, say it didn't exist, but introducing it within their societies, I think a lot of people would be going, "Oh, that's quite left leaning. That's very interesting that they've went for this." So to see the DUP sort of come out with this very lefty sort of stance, it was an interesting one to see and judge by.
yeah, I agree. I think they've. I guess it's not purely surprising because we knew that the DUP does definitely rely on like an older voting base. Um, I suppose I was surprised that they did kind of make that many allowances towards the kind of working class, the perceived like kind of benefit system and the old people, just because usually parties who are in their kind of center right or right wing makeup don't usually make that many allowances, uh, even if they do have even if they do allow for some aspects of it, they generally have like a core of it, which is still very right wing, and then they'll make a couple kind of deviations. But the EP seem to very much have completely given, I guess, given the people what they want is probably the best way of saying it.
And I also wonder how much of the political realities and the political system of Stormont it trickles down to DUP policy. So what I'm trying to state here is the British government will give X amount of money to Stormont, to its relative departmental bodies to continue
Yeah,
out whatever projects it's doing. And I wonder if the DUP treat the social care system the same way, i.e., and we get X amount from London, so we have to spend it. So if the more money we get, the more we should spend,
yes,
which
yeah.
it's a very lefty idea, really, to keep spending government money and not to be tight. And I don't want to say this might sound a bit biased, but physically responsible of it in a way. It's a big slap into the face
Yeah.
into what we traditionally
Do
see in
you
the
think that's
DUP.
me? Do you think maybe that's like an institutional byproduct though? That I mean, we both kind of know when we've both probably seen on various occasions that whenever you give a government institution a set of money, there's like a natural inclination, no matter the ideology, to spend that money because they know that by the time the next pay packet comes around or the next budget comes around, if they don't spend all their money, the government's going to look at that and say, right, we shouldn't give you as much because you don't need as much.
Yeah,
So they
definitely.
spend it anyway.
If for anybody who is listening to this and you haven't read Sam McBride's book on the RHI scandal, he talks a lot about this, about civil servants having this mentality that if London gives you X amount of money, you better spend it all so that you get the same next year, or if not more. So I think that does trickle down into both, basic civil service operations and also into policy.